Hi everyone, my name is Julia, and I'm the project director and creative producer for Taste Liverpool Drink Bordeaux. We thought that would be nice for me to record this video. It came actually from an idea from a friend that asked me if I would record some of the sessions that I was doing last week to, talk to a few venues. And I said, oh, that's a brilliant idea, because then if we record something, then I can send it out and people can watch as and when they can. It becomes more flexible. So I'm going to introduce today a little bit more about Taste Liverpool Drink Bordeaux, focus very much on the festival and how the venues can get involved, but also give you an insight of the bigger project for this and what is our vision for it, basically. So the main vision, long-term vision for Taste Liverpool is to position Liverpool as a recognized gastronomic city in the UK in the next 5 years. So I think the main and important message here is to, reassure you that this is not simply a festival that they just want to do a one-off. We really have a long-term vision for Taste Liverpool that we would like to evolve and grow with. But obviously we would want to kick off with the festival. The festival will be the great opportunity to get things started. So the festival proposition then is the most delicious weekend of the year, and it's a transformational and pioneering urban food and drink festival. And the key word here is urban, that showcases Liverpool's food and drink scene, attracts new visitors, and generates a significant economic impact for hospitality businesses. And I will explain a little bit more in detail why the keyword is urban, because it's very different than what we are used to a festival being, where generally is concentrated in a place. You have one place where the venues have their own stalls in those places, and that's how we do it. That's how normally a festival is done. However, this is going to be very different than that. So this is what I want to clarify as well, apart from introducing how the venues can get involved. The date for the festival will be from the 2nd until the 5th of June, and that falls in the Jubilee weekend. I know most of you might be asking yourselves, and even asked me, some venues have already asked me, why in a very busy weekend? And I understand. I come from the sector as well, so I completely understand. That's a question that I would have myself. So the main reason is that we want Taste Liverpool to be a long-term project. So when you launch something new, so Taste Liverpool being the new kid on the block, you want to put in front of as many people as possible. So we thought that the Jubilee weekend would be the good opportunity to, Taste to compose the whole offering for the weekend, since we have a 4-day weekend, but also to put, since you already have a natural attraction to that weekend. So we would have a lot of people that we can launch this brand in front of, so put in front of as many people as possible. That's the key reason why. Obviously next year you won't have that. So, but then we already kind of went and done it, and people are more aware of Taste Liverpool. So the festival strategy, it's a catalyst for growth, contributing to Liverpool's post-pandemic recovery. On the first year, this is the main strategy for this first year. Also to highlight Liverpool as a welcoming, internationalist and culturally diverse city with a hospitality sector that embodies the spirit. And then I'm going to be explaining a little bit more about this dual brand partnership with Bordeaux, and in that very much match that focus, that strategy. Liverpool as a center stage of a rich and immersive citywide dinner out experience, linking the festival to our UNESCO City of Music status, and hooking it to the Queen's Platinum Jubilee 4-day celebration bank holiday weekend to launch in grand style. So so basically, as I said, it's not going to be a festival that you're going to be in a place where everything's going to be happening in that place. No, the intention is that we animate the city. We have different events going on around the city in order to be the hook. And then these different events will be very much to do with the Jubilee this year, and to also music, where then it becomes the hook, where bring people in, and then drive people into the official festival venues, which will be the venues then would be taking part of the festival, and encouraging then the use of the venues' existing infrastructure, as opposed to asking them to invest significant resources to move away from their premises. So we'll be sending, so the intention is to drive people into the venues, right? And then now I'm going to be able to explain to you all how is that going to look like, how we're going to make it feel like a festival, since it's a very different setting than what a festival would normally look like. Before I do that, just to talk a little bit about our brand partner, which is Bordeaux. There is a fantastic relationship between both cities already. Some of you might remember that we did have Bordeaux Wine Festival twice already in the past, and this is kind of an evolve from that as well. We have a historic link with Bordeaux. Bordeaux used to be Britain, so there is a very interesting link historically, and actually the wines that started coming to Britain were Bordeaux wines, and they start coming into the country via the ports in the north. So there is a very direct historic link in that sense. Bordeaux is also a city that is falling to the UNESCO, status. So we have sisters in that level as well. If we think about our vision, our long-term vision, that's to position Liverpool as a recognized gastronomic, Bordeaux is a strong name when it comes to gastronomy. So for us, it's fantastic to be able to be associated with them. On the other hand as well, Liverpool we're planning with Bordeaux that Liverpool will be the guest city in Bordeaux in either in 2023 or 2024. And this will be the biggest activation of Liverpool abroad in the past 10 years. So this is going to be major for us. We're just deciding which year would be best for the cities. And also Bordeaux, their strategy is to now, they already are a brand that appeals to the higher market, if you like. They want to be able to, appeal to a more younger market, young, fresh, new. And Liverpool helps a lot with that, because we as a brand, we're very young, we're very vibrant. So that's why it works for them as well on that level. How then the festival works, how Taste Liverpool Drink Bordeaux works. It's a non-for-profit project funded by the private and public sector. Appointed project director and creative producers, which is myself, oversees the event's production, programming, administration, promotion, and marketing, working closely with the venues, such as hopefully yourselves, traders, sponsors, the city council, business leaders, etc., etc. So basically me overseeing all of these aspects. No admission fees from the public or official festival venues. So this is the main thing here. There's no admission fee. So whereas in the past, if you would join the festival, the food and drink festival, you would have to pay a fee before anything in order to be part of it. We are not requiring that. We have a few requirements, which I will go through them soon, but we don't have that. We're not requiring the venues for any admission fees here, and the public as well. So if we think about, again, in a normal setting of a festival, a usual setting of a festival, in order for them to access the premises, they have to pay a fee as well, which is not going to happen. They just, in this case, they will just have to pay for whatever they would like to enjoy. The festival is being led by the Liverpool Bid Company, so the Business Improvement District Company, which comes from the private sector, Culture Liverpool, Marketing Liverpool, with the collaboration and very strong collaboration from the food and drink sector. I think it's important for me to highlight here that from the funding bodies here, the main thing key for them is that the sector gets involved, and this becomes a festival that is led by the sector, especially in the future. And that's going to be the main measure of success for them for this first year. So how we're going to do it, and what are the events related to the festival? You're going to have the official festival menus being offered by official festival venues. This is what I'm going to be explaining to you all, because that's how venues can get involved. Restaurants, bars, pubs, that's how they can get involved. Coffee shops as well. We're going to have a Bordeaux Wine Festival, which is already secured, and it's going to happen in the town hall, right? Where people are going to purchase wine passes, and they are going to be able to, they are going to have a number of sessions with a number of tastings that they will be able to enjoy. We're still confirming and curating, and I'll have more details in April, but the chef's demo, which we're hoping to have in a very iconic venue in Liverpool, but I'll be able to confirm that more towards the end of the month. Also in the talks and with the possibility of having a producers market, that's another thing that we really want to bring into being one of the key events for the festival. And then the spin-off events what we're calling, which is more the events related to Jubilee, that they're going to have their own events going on, and also some more events about music, but everything is going to feel very much part of the same festival. So everything is going to be like, the main offering for the Jubilee. So Jubilee is the main key thing in the weekend, but then you're going to have Taste Liverpool and all the key events that are going to compose the whole Jubilee weekend, basically the whole offering. So we are, when we position ourselves marketing wise, domestically, especially far domestic in the UK, our offering becomes way stronger for that weekend. So in order for, that was something that I was thinking a lot about. I even had talks with other cities because our festival Taste Liverpool Drink Bordeaux came as an inspiration from Eat Brussels Drink Bordeaux. So I had a talk with them. I had a very nice catch up with with Visit Brussels. Then they put me in touch with even Montreal. Montreal does exactly how we're doing. Basically, they've been doing since 2000 though. Okay, so it's been a long time. Brussels has been doing since 2014. And of course, even they share that many things changed, many things evolved from when they started. But it was nice to kind of gather a little bit of their thoughts. One of the key things that became very apparent on those conversations that we need to make sure this feels like a festival. Otherwise, it becomes just a seasonal activity such as Christmas, for example, and you wouldn't need me. You would just need guys, Jubilee weekend, marketing contacting me, the main venues, and say, what are you doing for that weekend? Send it to us. We will push it. So, then I wouldn't be needed. So in order for us to make this work, we need to make sure it feels like a festival. So how do we do it in the current setting where we're not asking venues to go to a one place only? And in order to make sense to the audience as well, so they understand. So we curated 6 menus, which we say that they are official festival menus, okay, where the official festival venues will be able to feature up to 2 of them. So we'll break them down. We try to include as many of the niches as possible from our sector, try to be as inclusive as we could with this. So the menu, so you have Menu Extraordinaire, Connoisseur Concessions, Bordeaux Connection, Foodies Paradise, Barista Flair, and Patisserie Delight. And I'm going to try and explain each one of them separately. So Menu Extraordinaire is thinking more of fine dining venues. Although even before I explain, it's important to be able to clarify is that even if you're not, for example, a fine dining venue, but you would like to have the challenge of taking on a tasting menu and featuring in your venue, that's a chance for you to do it. There's no such of rule in that sense. It's just that we try to englobe as many experiences as we could, from the fine dining, more casual dining, more street food, and then also touch on the basis of our coffee shops and pastries and everything. So Menu Extraordinaire is a more of a tasting menu that created especially for the festival and would have Bordeaux wines to pair with. We won't put a set price on the menu itself. What we put was a set price range. And then the venues that would like to feature this menu in particular, they cannot fall short or above that price range. It needs to keep within this price range. And this is including the full experience of this menu, including the wines. Okay, so another requirement is that the official festival venues, they need to offer at least 6 Bordeaux wines during that weekend in order to be able to feature that. 2 colors minimum, so white or red, for example, during the festival, and take part on a wine masterclass that Vince de Bordeaux will be featuring, and I will communicate that when that's going to be. The wines that you would like to feature during the weekend, that you would be selling it, that would compose your menu and you would be charging for them. The wines, they should be offered via the menu's existing suppliers. If you don't have a contact and you'd like to feature this and you don't have a contact of suppliers, let me know. My contact will be on the description of this video. So, and also at the end of this presentation. So just let me know and we'll be able to connect you with a few suppliers that we know. The Bordeaux, then, whoever chooses the menu that requires Bordeaux wines, they will donate 18 bottles to the venue. But those bottles are not meant to be sold, and they're going to be random bottles. It's not going to be related to the bottles to the wines that you choose to feature. But it's more of a, of a way of them supporting you. And then those ones you can offer complimentary, either through the menu, you can have an extra complimentary glass from those bottles, or offer to whoever else you'd like to. So what's going to happen then, the name of the menu is Menu Extraordinaire. So we will design, this is just to show you a little bit. So we'll design a nice menu. The name of the menu is Menu Extraordinaire by the name of your venue, and then you have your menu here. It's important to highlight that it's you do you use your flavors, you do what you do best, what you want to do. We are not here to tell you, you should be more, French, in your approach to food. No, it's not what we want. Taste Liverpool is about tasting Liverpool and our diverse culinary. And Bordeaux as well, they want to be able to showcase how the Bordeaux wines goes well with any cuisine, okay? Connoisseur, then it becomes a little bit self-explanatory. Connoisseur concession is a menu that is more of a set menu that includes a welcome drink, a welcome glass of water, a starter, a main, and a dessert. Again, the price range. So the price range is for the full menu in this case, so including all of those, between 20 to 30. And then the same falls into that you need to be featuring selling at least 6 Bordeaux wines within your venue for the duration of the festival. Order it via your existing suppliers. If not, we can connect you with some. And then Bordeaux will also donate 18 bottles in this case. And again, same applies for the design of the menu. We will design the menus and send it to you. And then you just have that connoisseur concession by the name of your venue and your offering for that menu. Bordeaux Connection is more of a drinks menu, okay, created especially for the festival again. They involve Bordeaux wines and or cocktails, which are Bordeaux wine based. Obviously, cocktails in this case, you will be using other spirits, but you need to have that element of Bordeaux. And the only requirements they ask is that you use fresh wines only. So dry white, sweet white, rosé, or Cremant. Okay, we put the price range for glasses only. In the case of the wines, depending on the wines that you order, if you want to sell by the bottle, that's fine. But I didn't want to put, because it's too many ranges of bottles that could be available. So I said, I'm not going to go down that route, but wine glasses, they need to be 125 and 175 ml between 550 to 650. Okay, so they just cannot, but bottles, then you decide. If you want to sell by the bottle, you decide the price. And again, follows the same situation with the 6 Bordeaux wines and so on and so forth. So now from here, so those are the 3 key menus that involve Bordeaux wines. This one here does not. So one thing I forgot, let me go back that. So obviously this drinks menu, Bordeaux Connection, it's especially for venues that don't work with food, okay, or venues that work with food but don't want to mess too much around with their food. So they said, okay, you know what, let's go for a drinks menu instead. Okay, so again, there's no specific rules. You feature whatever you think it's best for you. Foodies Paradise, then it's all about the food, and especially, a menu more thinking about the street food, the grab and go, the tapas, so that's why the price range here is per item, by the way. It's not per menu. So it's between £5 to £8 per item that you offer in this menu. And then again, same applies. We will have a nice design menu, and then you just put Foodies Paradise by the name of your venue. Barista Flair, again, then more about our coffee shops. So prices per item here, the range, and the same applies with the menu. Patisserie Delight, same. So you have, it's more for venues that have, our pastries, cakes, bakes. Again, you have your menu, Patisserie Delight by the venue, and then this is a price range for the items, okay? So what are the requirements then? As I mentioned that in the start, there's absolutely no fees, that you need to pay us in order to be able to be listed. It's not what it's about. So what we need from the venues that they feature at least one official festival menu. and meet some health and safety and sustainability compliance requirements that we'll be requesting from the venues in order to be listed as an official festival venue. The official festival venues, they can choose up to a maximum of 2 menus, no more than that, in order to feature during the festival. You'll have the freedom, to create, your own, the menu on your own flavor, on your own terms, as long as you keep fixed the price range. Because the important thing to highlight in this section is that it's about people choosing where to go for the food and experience, and not becoming a battle of prices, okay? Menus, they have to be available from Thursday, from the 2nd until Sunday the 5th, during the afternoon. They won't be mandatory in the evening. And by the way, another important thing to highlight here is that the menus, they are an extra menu to your experience. It's not that you have to only feature those menus throughout in the afternoon from Thursday to Sunday. No, it's an added menu, it's an added experience to your own personal menus. If people say, no, I don't want to have the festival menu, I want to have a normal menu that you're offering, that's fine, okay? But they need to be at least available in the afternoon. We won't require them in the evening. And again, to feature the menu extraordinaire, Connoisseur Concessions, Bordeaux Connection, the official festival menus, they need to offer at least 6 Bordeaux wines during that period. They need to be selling at least 6 Bordeaux wines, at least 2 color, and participate on the wine masterclass as well. And Bordeaux will donate those 18 bottles. Commitments. Official festival menus, they need to commit to helping promote Taste Liverpool on their platforms, commit to complying with health and safety and sustainability requirements that we will require, commit to attend mandatory meetings, workshops, and training where applicable prior to the festival, commit to promoting Taste Liverpool competition, which I'm going to be talking about in a minute, during the festival. The 3 last ones are very key for me. Even if they are on the basis of an anonymous basis, we really need that commitment from the venues, which is to disclose their sales of the official festival menus, a sum of quantity and sales, disclosing the sales of Bordeaux, sum of quantity and overall sales, and also giving their feedback. Because as I mentioned before, the main measure of success for the funding bodies is going to be the engagement from the sector, and how the sector engages, and how how things go and unfold throughout the festival. And given that we move forward, which I'm very hopeful we will for the next years, it will be important for us to understand some of those figures, so we will decide then in the future, if what we change, what do we need to modify, what do we need to remove or add. But then we need those figures. Yes, we're going to have an evaluation, a marketing evaluation at the end of it, and that's going to measure everything, that from visitors, number of visitors, overall economic impact. But as we already know, it's going to be a very busy weekend because we have the Jubilee. So for us, it's key that we're able to at least on some things to just measure taste Liverpool during Bordeaux, and also especially the feedback from the sector, because that's going to be key in order for us to move forward with it. So I want to share with you some key deadlines. By the way, I forgot to mention in the start, here on the description of this video, you're going to have a link that will take you to this presentation, so you'll be able to download it. So don't worry about it. I should have said in the start, really. Sorry about that if you've been taking notes desperately, but you have that, and then also link to the enrollment form and all of those. So just to highlight a few key deadlines, so 28th of March is the deadline to enroll, to fill up the form, which you have the link also in the description below here to take you straight away to the form. On the 29th, then we will share with you guys the POS for those 18 bottles, or for the venues that are choosing menus that involve Bordeaux wines. So we will share with you the POS for those 18 bottles for you to be able to order yours. And the 1st of April, then we will share with the official festival menu designs with the official festival venues. And then on the 11th of April, it's the deadline for you guys, the venues that sign up to submit their official festival menus to us, because the whole idea is that we'll promote the menus, and then the venues will fall into their menu, into those menu categories. we would like to link directly to your menu and also link to your website as well. So it's very important that we follow those deadlines, because then mid-April, I'll be able to confirm in more details afterwards to you all. We're going to be officially launching the program. Okay. So Taste Liverpool, we're going to work with some heroes and ambassadors, and heroes are going to be our chefs. So we will be contacting a few key chefs, that we will be working with, that will help us promote Taste Liverpool, and who will get their faces and put all over the city as well during the festival. And also 3 key ambassadors that we are quoting at the moment. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but ambassadors, they will be mainly food bloggers from the city. They are very good ones, they're fantastic ambassadors for the city anyways, but they work a lot with, their work is mainly with food and drink. So we're going to have 3 of them. Taste Liverpool, the way that we're going to promote and market it is going to be heavily digital. So the ambassadors are going to be key, and they will work, especially prior to the festival, and the lead up to the festival, 6 weeks prior to it. They will be working closely with the official festival venue to create content. So those contents that are so key sometimes for us, that venues that we don't have so much time sometimes to be creating. We know that it's quite overwhelming to deal with social media and all of those. So they will be working, so creating content with the venues, with you guys, in order to be able to promote your venue, your menu, prior to, on the weeks leading up to the festival as well. So those are content that you possibly will be able to use afterwards for yourself as well. So on that, it's an added value. Competition, which is a very nice one here. I'm very excited for all of you involved. So that will involve, I'm already assuming that you're going to get involved, but that will be all of you that are going to get involved with us. So we will be promoting a competition that will, for the menus, okay, which is going to involve a mystery shopper and a public vote. So how this is going to work, so let's say if you feature 2 menus, you will only be able to enroll for the competition on one of them, okay? So each category, each menu will have a venue winner. And the objective is to take 2 of the staff, 2 of the team members to Bordeaux Wine Festival at the end of June with us, and possibly even bring in ambassadors, those key ambassadors that I was speaking here, the 3 food bloggers as well to that. And this will I'll be able to confirm in more detail in April, how is that going to look like. Because given that it's very successful in terms of, when I mean successful, by the way, I don't mean perfect. We're not going to be able to do everything on year 1, and it's not even the intention. We want to be able to grow this festival. So we want to do some key things well done in the first year, so we can be able to grow. And the intention is that being successful, and that does not mean perfect, but then that the venues and the sector say, what, we want to continue with this, we want to grow this, we want to evolve with this. The intention is that we introduce the Taste Liverpool 365, but that is dependent on how the venues and how the sector engages with the festival. What would be then Taste Liverpool 365? It's a year-round platform that engages and shines a spotlight on the flavors, people, and stories that make Liverpool such an exciting city to live and visit, and supports local organizations and projects focused on the development of the sector. So essentially, then the plan is to introduce our own Taste Liverpool own media channels, because at the moment our online home is Visit Liverpool. So you have visitliverpool.co.uk/taste, and obviously we will be using Taste Liverpool social medias in order to promote this, because it would be too much investment of resources, of time, money, in order to be able to start from scratch building our own audience. So we didn't want to do that now. But if we activate the Taste Liverpool 365, we then introduce our own social media channel, our own website. Then we'll have a 365 content strategy. Then we would like to bring, to introduce a Taste Liverpool board, including people. The board mainly composed by people from the sector. Possibly then these ideas, an app, how can we support, awards that are, focused on our sector, Also, if you think about, if we go back to the events that we want to bring for the festival, one of them being the producers market, a key thing that for any gastronomic city in the world is to have a producers market kind of regularly in the city. So one of the also ideas for the 365 is that possibly we could introduce a producers market every month in the city center. So that's one of the things. So how we will activate all of that then would be very much, if we introduce the board, decided by a board that is composed by hospitality sector, by the food and drink sector leaders, basically. And then we'll be able to, then the festival becomes one of the pillars, and we'll have other pillars to it. And even for future festivals, the board, the sector would be able to choose those dates and things like that, make those kind of important decisions together with the funding bodies, together with everything else. So I would like to show us just a little bit of some sort of designs for it that we're already going, that we already developed. I absolutely love the little, because if you think that this fork, our little icon is also a wine glass. So it's I think it's very clever. I love it. So you have, a little bit of some visuals for you to have a look here, and the little crown as well that ties everything up. When we actually do the animation of the streets, we're going to dress up the streets on different things that you're going to be able to see that is very much connected. There's a festival going on. And one of the key things, as I mentioned before, is to put the faces of the heroes, the faces of the chef. And the whole idea is kind of put their faces with a little doodly crown around and play with that. So it connects to the Jubilee very well this year. So yeah, loads of plans at this point. But the main thing for us that we're focusing at the moment is getting the venues involved. And put here my contact. Again, these things are going to be on the description of this video. I'm also gonna, as I said, link up in the website where you can download this presentation so you can have your presentation for you. But here's my contact. If you have any questions, any concerns, any feedback that you'd like to get it across, please don't hesitate to contact me. And I'm definitely looking forward to, hopefully, having as many of you involved with this the festival. I'm very, very excited. I think for those that know me already, because I've been working in the sector for the past 5 years as well in Liverpool, I'm very passionate about this sector, and I really, I didn't think twice when I saw the job advert, because I really would love to be able to make a difference to the sector that I adore. So get in touch, get involved, and I'm expecting, to hear from as many of you as possible. Thank you very much for watching it. Take care.